been a long time since we did a proper How to Fix Scout report on Eurofootball Daily, but the wait is over. This week we've decided to look at why Atletico Madrid's attack is failing and see how Diego Simeone can improve things in the coming months. Let's get into it. Stunted attack. Not for the first time, Atletico Madrid are looking a little light going forwards. In 2018-19 they finished with the 5th worst attack in La Liga, being outscored by Levante, and a year later that dropped to 7th. To rectify this, Luis Suarez arrived from Barcelona, and sure enough, the gunman made the difference, netting 21 times in their 2021 title-winning campaign, before fading to 11 last term, although his drop in output was supported by a stellar campaign from Angel Correa. On both occasions, Atleti finished with their 3rd best attack in the division, behind the usual suspects. But Suarez is gone, and the early indications suggest it could be another difficult year in front of goal for the red and whites. Their return of 12 goals from 7 games this season isn't terrible, but it is significantly down on Real Madrid and Barcelona, and inflated due to the fact 7 of their goals have come in 2 games. They turned over Getafe 3-0 at the start of the season, then crushed Celta Vigo 4-1. However, according to XG, they only actually created 2.4 goals in those games combined, while Atletico are currently taking just 12.5 shots a match, below the likes of Osasuna, Espanyol and Valencia. Alvaro Morata does deserve credit for leading Atleti's charge with 4 goals so far. Considering it looked like the Spaniard would leave the Metropolitano this summer, it's lucky for their sake he stuck around. Pressure problems. Atletico's basic problem is they're struggling to create high quality chances. This starts with the fact Atletico's average possession stands at just 46% in La Liga, which even by Simeone standards is pretty bleak. It's the lowest it's been since 17-18 and only marginally better than relegation threatened Almeria. Part of the issue is that their press has been all over the place. In typical Simeone fashion, the team works hard, attempting the 4th most pressures in total of any club in La Liga. But with just 22.6% of their pressures resulting in a tackle or turnover, Atleti have an alarmingly bad success rate, currently the 2nd worst in Spain. Instead of looking for a quick turnover to regain possession, Atleti automatically drop deep once they lose the ball. A little over a 5th of their pressures are taking place in the attacking third, meaning on the occasions when they are retaining possession, they're often having to build up from the back. And this leads to their next problem, as they're struggling to progress the ball into the final third. Only Celta Vigo have played more football than Atletico Madrid in the middle of the pitch, and it's telling that the Galicians have also lacked end product, scoring 9 against 6.5 expected. The club's 4 main midfielders, Thomas Lemar, Rodrigo de Paul, Koke and Jeffrey Kondogbia have all failed to carry the ball into the 18-yard box once this season, whilst Koke and Kondogbia have only entered the final third in possession 5 times between them. None of them are particularly strong at penetrating the opposition with their passing either. Of the 4, Koke is best, completing 4.5 progressive passes per 90, but this still only puts him in the 66th percentile of midfielders in Europe's top 5 leagues. Fine, but not at the elite level you would expect from a team like Atletico. Encouraging the team to press higher is one idea Simeone could explore. This could lead to a higher quality of chance creation and catching the opposition on the back foot in more dangerous positions. However, one of the reasons they aren't doing this appears to be concern about speed in their defence. New signing Axel Witsel has started the season almost permanently at centre half, and it goes without saying that 33-year-old has lost a step or two. Same goes for Stefan Savic, Jose Gimenez and Mario Hermoso, hardly players blessed with speed. It explains why Ronaldo, normally a fullback, has been repositioned as a centre half, so as to cover in behind. It's far from a vintage Atletico defence as well, conceding 6 so far and facing 12.2 shots a game, worse than 9 other sides. But looking to take control higher at the pitch, and possession could help ease pressure on the backline. Wingbacks. Atletico Madrid's wingbacks are also being pushed into defensive positions. And again here, Simeone is failing to maximise potential at his disposal. El Cholo has exclusively used a back 3 or back 5 this term, swapping out Nahuel Molina and Saul Niguez in the wing-back slots for the more potent Marcos Llorente and Yannick Carrasco. Yet none of them have produced a single assist so far. That's despite collectively contributing to 31 crosses, which have all come to nothing. Not even a single one of Llorente's 11 crosses has found an Atletico Madrid player. Again, this highlights the issues the side have got getting bodies in the box. Of the 4 players mentioned, Carrasco is definitely the most dangerous, crossing the ball 1.6 times per 90, taking the most touches in the final third, and attempting 2.1 dribbles per game. He's even recorded 15 shots, just 3 fewer than Morata, yet his efforts boil down to just 1 goal. The Belgian, like the rest of the Atleti squad, has become bogged down with his defensive duties. Although his tackles and interceptions have hit a 5-year high, his pressures in the final third have rapidly dropped off, along with his passes into the penalty box. One look at his heat map reveals that the 29-year-old has been pushed much deeper into his own half this season than previous campaigns. Let's not forget, this is someone who contributed 28 goal involvements for Atleti over the past 2 seasons and is a danger when unleashed. Yet in the current system, he'll struggle to replicate the same kind of threat. Simeone's failure to maximise the threat of those wide players has forced their direction of play through the middle. Only Real Madrid, Barcelona and Villarreal attack more centrally than Atleti, and they all play with a back four. With Joao Felix still preferring to push left and cut inside, what they desperately need is someone capable of sitting in the hole between midfield and attack, orchestrating play and creating chances. In Antoine Griezmann, they probably have that man, but as the entire world has discovered, there's a problem. Griezmann. It was recently revealed that Simeone has been instructed to use Griezmann sparingly, so not to trigger a clause that would force Atletico to pay €40 million to Barcelona for the French forward. Considering Griezmann will turn 32 in March, the Madrid outfit have financial concerns of their own, it's no surprise that they're proceeding with caution. Finding a resolution with Barcelona that allows them to play Griezmann more consistently would be ideal for both parties. According to Mundo Deportivo, a €25 million compromise could be struck in January, and that looks fair value considering what the former Real Sociedad man has offered this term. Despite only starting once and regularly appearing off the bench at the 60-minute mark, Griezmann has scored twice and created 1 big chance. In fact, he looks much closer to his former best, with his shots rising to 3.5 per 90 and key passes also jumping to 2.2. He's been clinical as well, with 8 of his 13 efforts testing the keeper, despite shooting for an average of 20.1 yards. The rest of the Atletico squad clearly look for him when he's on the field too. Only Rodrigo receives more passes than Griezmann on average, whilst he takes the most passes of anyone in the attacking third. In fact, of their forward players, he gains the ball the most in the middle third too, at around 30 touches per 90. This shows just how good he is at dropping deep to drive forward possession, providing the pivot between the defence and midfield that Atletico desperately need. His progressive carry distance stands at 159.6 yards, more than any Atletico Madrid player despite his limited game time, while only Nahuel Molina betters his 2.3 carries into the final third. In short, Simeone needs Griezmann playing. He's an experienced head who can find the net, and given Angel Correa is only being trusted off the bench, they need the Frenchman available as soon as possible. The Atletico Madrid attack is simply too weak to cope otherwise. With Spanish sides sitting deeper than ever, Simeone needs to loosen the defensive shackles and allow his side to push further forward. Paul and Lamar were both purchased for their attacking flair, so need to be given the licence to be more creative in the final third. The inclusion of Griezmann in that mixture should help the process, while it will be more interesting to see if the additions of Sergi Reguilon allows Carrasco to relocate to a more advanced position, where his best qualities can finally shine. Atletico have players with the attributes to be more creative, it's just up to El Cholo to trust them long enough to let them shine. So that was today's episode of Scout Report on EuroFootball Daily. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.